Hi guys, Tracy Andas. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a recap of Married at First Sight UK. And this is episode 24, season 10. And let's just get right into it. The show starts off with Davide and Kie, and they're happily canoodling on the couch once again. It seems just a little bit too good to be true. Will the crack show eventually, or is this just how it's going to be for them all the time? It just seems a little bit too perfect for me. I'm just waiting to see what happens. I'm waiting for a meltdown, I guess, by someone. Of course, April and Leo platonically are shown drinking coffee in the morning together, and I'm just completely, totally still bored with these two and this relationship. Abigail and John, they could just be a normal, drama-free, grown-up couple. There's just only mature conversation and, no heated arguments. This just might be a regular, refreshing relationship. Leisha and Reese are just so happy this week that they are not the center of drama, and things just seem to be going better for them. We just wait till Alicia gets insecure again and turns up the pressure on Reese to put a label on their relationship, to find out where the relationship is rated. This just makes him really uncomfortable, and it just puts a lot of pressure on him, which he's told her before, but she can't help herself. She wants answers, and he's not giving her what she needs to feel confident in their relationship. So until that changes, she's just going to keep asking questions, and he's just still going to keep being pressured. Bailey and Rebecca discuss what everyone should be discussing, which is how mean Julia Ruth is being to Dervani. And we all care about Dervani and realize she's just not that into him. Julia Ruth, for some reason, feels like everyone's ganging up on her, but I think she deserves it. Nellie and Steve had a really hard night at the dinner party, and you could tell he was going to get an earful when he got home. When he went off on everybody about getting involved in the tiff between Julie Ruth and his wife Nellie, she turned to him and said, "Are you serious?" She was shocked that he wasn't supporting her, and he seemed to be taking Julia Ruth's side, and I agree. I really just believe Nellie's intuition is telling her something is going on between Steve and Julie Ruth, and my intuition is telling me the same thing. So it will be interesting to see how this plays out. And all he had to do was simply say, "Stop interrupting my wife," or he could have said, "Don't talk like that to her," but he just sat there. And when he did talk, it was supporting Julie Ruth. Steve just seems really shut down in the whole situation. I just don't think this is going to work, but we'll see. Maybe it'll turn around, or maybe he'll end up with Julie Ruth. I just don't know. Grace and Ashley's relationship is exhausting. A woman so wrapped up in women's rights and being heard and, equality is going to have a hard time in a relationship with a normal masculine male. They aren't up to the constant arguing about, "I don't feel heard, I don't feel seen." I'm exhausted from it. I'm sure Ashley is too. You could see it on him. He just doesn't even want to open his mouth. And he talks about it. He says, "I can't monitor everything that comes out of my mouth at all times." And I think that's valid. I understand why sometimes a girl's feeling gets hurt by the way men talk, by typical male behavior. But seriously, he's a pretty great guy. I mean, you got to overlook a couple things. He's not a horrible person. He's just a regular guy. And Grace is so intense, and she seems rarely happy. She's always finding something wrong with Ashley. It's starting to rub off on him, and I see Ashley's joyous energy leaving his body. I hate that for him. She certainly isn't adding much to his life at the moment, in my opinion. She's jealous of April. She's threatened by her conversation that April and Ashley had. I mean, it wasn't great that he went and had that conversation with April by himself without Grace. It just made her look stupid, and she felt stupid. I get why she's upset, and he takes it as she doesn't like his character. No, she just doesn't like you flirting with April and then telling April to back off the friendship because Grace is getting jealous. That's just embarrassing. I mean, it's just really not respectful at all, but it's not malicious. He didn't mean anything by it. He was just trying to fix the situation. Nellie looks absolutely miserable with Steve on the couch. Nellie is pretty mature about the Julie, Ruth, and Steve situation. She even says, you're allowed to be attracted to Steve, but what was your intention? I mean, when she heard about Julia Ruth's comment about wanting to get Steve in that partner swap, that was when she felt very disrespected. Steve's anger comes out once again, and it all seems to be directed at Nellie, per usual. Steve thinks just because he says he's only here for Nellie that that's enough for her. His actions seem to say otherwise. Nellie has a strong intuition about Steve's feelings for Julie Ruth, and it isn't good. And I agree with her. They both stay, however, but what upsets the group is that Steve writes in parentheses, for now. It just pisses her off so much. It's crazy. David and Kie are excited about their lives outside the experiment. They only live 30 minutes from each other, and they are actually complimented by the judges about how they affirm each other and support one another. And it is really refreshing and nice to see. I'm still waiting for the shoe to drop. However, maybe it won't. Maybe it'll be a great relationship. Perfect. Now, Maeve going up on the couch, again without Joe for the third time, is hard to watch. She didn't feel like she got the answers that she needed. However, Joe wrote her a note, and it was read to her. It's a positive but heartbreaking truth. He regrets leaving things in a negative way, but it was best for him, especially with everything that he's going through right now. He just couldn't deal with the drama of it all. I hate when someone says, I know you will find the right guy for you, when you want it to be that person. And that's what she's having to hear. It's awful, but it's honest. And they really weren't right for each other. But both of them are great people. She's really loved by the group, and so is Joe, and that says something about both of them. I will really miss Maeve on the show. She was really fun to watch. Rebecca and Bailey seem to be such a great fit, and it's just a real easy relationship, and they're really invested in it. So I'm a firm believer that they're gonna be great, and they're gonna have a great future together. Leah and Lay still seem so icy to each other, maybe just a little smoochy, but these two should be enjoying each other. They're both so gorgeous. What a waste. I guess they just don't have chemistry, the pheromones are off, or they're just not compatible. I don't know, I just don't get it. I think they should be hooking up for sure. Julia, Ruth, and Dervani are on the couch. I mean, could Julia Ruth get any farther away from him on that couch? The body language is clear. It's painful. Dervani talks about how he chose to stay elsewhere, and this really upset Julia Ruth. She was pissed. I believe she wanted to be the one to end the relationship. And when she says he didn't give her a chance to make it up to him, I was like, girl, sex doesn't change everything. Disrespect is disrespect. I mean, he just had enough of it, and I don't blame him. The group was going at him for the way he was letting her treat him, and he just finally was over it, for sure. I mean, there's no amount of sorry that can erase all the hurt and the vicious words that caused Dervani to really break down. He's such a sweet soul, but you just saw all the joy leave his body. Kind of the similar thing that's happening to Ashley because of Grace. So I believe it was just the wrong person for him, and he's going to be a great partner to someone. Reese and Leisha on the couch talked about how things really have heated up in the bedroom, which is awesome. I'm happy for both of them. I think physical touch is definitely Leisha's love language. And he really needed to reassure Leisha that he had feelings for her. But she also really needs to slow her roll. He's told her a bunch of times, and the only way this relationship is going to progress is if she just stops pressuring him and he starts giving her emotionally and physically what she needs. April and Leo's session on the couch is the same thing every time. April's just so checked out, and Leo is certainly trying, but it's just not hitting for her. I think she's used to a deeper connection, and she said that, and I don't know if Leo's ever experienced that yet, so it's hard to give her something that he doesn't know anything about. But once you've had it, it's really hard to be in a relationship without it. So this is going to be a tough one for them to meet in the middle anywhere, or to get where they need to be to say yes to each other at the end of the day. I just don't think they're going to get there. You know, she just wants a deep connection, and she deserves that. And if it's not going to be Leo giving it to her, then she is going to have to look elsewhere. Grace and Ashley, goodness gracious, I swear she's just too much. She robs all the fun out of every moment, and Ashley is fun. So she's just taking all of that from him. It's just so sad to watch. She's such a Debbie Downer. She does attack his character, and she questions his morals and treats him like a male chauvinist pig, which he is anything but. It's heartbreaking to watch. I guess the April situation was upsetting. I feel like when Grace doesn't get her way, she reprimands Ashley, and perhaps April was a much better fit for Ashley. She could have let him be his funny, silly self. They could have had fun all the time, and they still could have had deep conversations. It would have just been a more lighthearted way to experience that. And he could still be himself. I just think the experts missed something there, for sure. I hate to see somebody get smaller around somebody just so that they don't upset them. It's hard to watch, and we've all been party to that. Either we've caused it or it's happened to us, and it's something that we should all watch out for and make sure we don't do that to other people, because it's not right. It just doesn't look like a fun relationship at all. And shouldn't relationships, even though you're doing the hard work, shouldn't it still be fun? So, guys, we'll see what happens next episode. I'm really invested in the show, and I'm curious to see what's going to happen with Julie Ruth. She really seems to want to be the villain in this show, and she's doing a great job. All right, guys, take care. I'll see you soon. Bye.